Welcome to Ratios Lesson 12, the last lesson in ratios. Today we're going to talk about converting measurement, and this is going to be a little bit of a longer lesson. So buckle in and let's get going. Let's read our lesson objective together. Ready? Go. I can convert measurement units using ratio reasoning. So we're going to use things that you've learned throughout the whole ratio unit to convert measurements. And some of you did this in 4th and 5th grade. So it might be a little bit of a review. There are two families of measuring units. The first one is the customary units of measure, and this is what we use here in America. And then the second one that we'll talk about is the metric system. And the metric system always seems to make a little bit more sense. And we're like, oh, why didn't we go to that? And there was a president who tried to have the United States go to that. And it would have cost a lot of money. They would have had to change all of the road signs. They would have had to change the size of like a gallon of milk or a gallon of gas. And so the United States decided we were going to stay with the customary unit of measuring. So we're going to start by talking about length. When we talk in customary units, we have inches, feet, yards, and miles that we use. And here is just a little image to help you visualize. An inch, we could picture an inchworm. I also like to picture if I bend my pointer finger from one knuckle to another knuckle is about an inch. Then we have a foot. If you have an exact size 12 male shoe foot, your foot is an exact foot. But also, just a cool little thing, we call this a benchmark. Your foot, if you picked your foot up and placed it on your forearm right there, it would be about the same length. Weird. You can try that. All right. The giant step is what helps us remember a yard. So when we take a giant step from this foot to this foot, it's about a yard. I also like to think of a yard as like from my nose, if I stretched out my right arm, my nose to the middle finger of my right arm with my arm stretched out. It's about a yard. And then a mile is the longest unit of customary length. And we picture that as like in a car, right? Or some of you might picture it as 4 laps around a track. So those are the customary measurements of length. Now let's talk about weight. In customary, we have 3 units of weight that we measure in: ounces, pounds, and tons. Ounces are the smallest. When you picture an ounce, a slice of bread is about an ounce. A pound then is about a loaf of bread. And then our last unit of measure is a ton. And a ton is the heaviest that we measure. And a ton is actually 2,000 pounds. So that's pretty heavy, right? That truck is probably more than 1 ton. All right, something else that you're used to seeing is customary units of capacity. Our smallest measurement is fluid ounces. Then we have cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. When you were in a younger grade, you may have seen something like Gallon Man to help you remember this. An ounce is small, super small, about 2 tablespoons or 2 of the small spoons that you would eat off of at home. A cup is about a school milk carton. Now, this isn't exactly true because our school milk has 12 ounces in it, which is a little more than a cup. But you could picture just a small cup. A pint is a small container of ice cream. For example, Ben & Jerry's Tonight Dough, my favorite, is a pint. Okay, a quart would be like a carton of milk or juice in the cardboard size. And then a gallon, we usually picture like a gallon of milk or a large container of paint. Those are usually a gallon. So let's try. We're just going to imagine in our head. what is the appropriate unit of measure for these? What would we measure? If I was trying to measure the length of a soccer field, what would I use to go out and measure? Would I use feet, yards, or miles? I would use yards. So go ahead and circle yards on yours. The amount of water in a hot tub. I don't know about you, but I don't want to count cups to fill that hot tub, right? Gallons would make the most sense. The weight of a car tire. Pounds. All right, go ahead and pause and try 4, 5, and 6. Number 4, the height of the basketball rim. I would use feet to measure how tall that is. Number 5, capacity of a coffee cup. Now, if it's just a coffee cup itself and how much it holds, I would count that in fluid ounces. And the weight of a gray whale. Well, gray whales are huge, right? They're the heaviest mammal. So we would say tons. Nice. Okay, so get your notebooks out. This page needs to be copied in your notebook so that you can refer to it as we go throughout the rest of our lesson. So go ahead and get this page copied. All right. I hope you have this page copied because we're going to refer to this as we go throughout the next few problems. So we're going to use, I'm going to split this down the middle, some ratio reasoning to help us solve this. So what I do is I set up a proportion, 2 equivalent ratios. So I'm going to start by putting 224 ounces right here. And I want it to equal pounds. So I want pounds on the top. And since this is, let's see, I'm going to erase that equal sign. We're timesing these. I need to cancel that ounce, so I need an ounce down here. Look back at your chart that you copied down. Find ounces and pounds. What do we know? In 1 pound, how many ounces are there? 16 ounces, right? So ounces cancel, and I would be left with 224 pounds divided by 16. Well, then I would have to do some math, and I would have to do 224 divided by 16. If you have a calculator, pull it out. I'm not going to make you do the computation on this. Pull out a calculator, type it in, and you would get, oh my goodness. Let's see. You would get 14. Now, the abbreviation for pound is not PD like I did up there. It's LBS. So 224 ounces is 14 pounds. All right, let's try another one. I have 66 feet. Now, if I'm starting with feet, I'm going to put feet down here on the bottom. And I want to get to inches, so I'm going to put it on top. What do I know about feet and inches? Look at my, what do you call it? Your chart that you made. And I know 1 foot is 12 inches. I'm going to times these together. Foot and foot cancel. So I'm left with 66 times 12 inches. On your calculator, 66 times 12. And you would get 792 inches. Don't get caught up in the math. I want you to get caught up in setting up these proportions or these 2 equivalent ratios, and solving. Okay, so let's try our next one. I'm going to split it down again so we can see. All right, I have 25 yards, so I'm going to start with 25 yards times, put inches up here, yards down here. Look at your chart. What do I know about inches and yards? Do I know about that? I do. I know that there are 36 inches in 1 yard, right? Now, when labels are diagonal from each other, they cancel. So I'm left with 25 times 36 inches. On your calculator, 25 times 36, 900 inches. All right, Start again over here. Now we're talking about capacity, how much something can hold. 72 cups times, I want pints on the top. I'm going to put cups down here. What do I know about pints and cups? I know that 1 pint is 2 cups, right? And I could put that over 1. Cups cancel. And I have 72 times 1, which is 72, pints divided by 2. So use your calculator. 72 divided by 2, 36 pints. See how much easier this is when you use a calculator? I'm not too concerned about you using a calculator on these ones. All right, let's try this one. Start with what you have. 18 tons times, now I know I want to get to pounds, so I put pounds on the top, tons on the bottom. Look at my chart. What do I know about tons and pounds? I know 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. All right, tons cancel. 18 times 2,000. Use your calculator. Woo! 36,000 pounds. That is a lot, right? So when we say a ton, we really mean a ton. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Okay. Start with 162 feet. Times it by, remember, put what you're looking for on top. And this first label on the bottom. What do you know about feet and yards? Well, we know there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Make sure that the 3 goes with the feet here. Feet cancel. 16 times 1 is 16. 1 times 3 is 3. And I'm left with yards. So, just kidding. It's 162. On your calculator, 162 divided by 3, 54 yards. Go ahead and try these two on your own. All right, 37 quarts times, and I want to get to pints. I know that there are 2 pints in 1 quart. So I would do 37 times 2, and I would get 74 pints. Okay, 292 quarts times, I'm going to put gallons here, quarts here. Oh, what do I know about gallons and quarts? I know 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So then I'd have 292 divided by 4. Use your calculator. 73 gallons. That's a lot. Okay, let's do this one together. Crab boats require 102 gallons of oil to run their engines properly. How much oil does that equal in quarts? So they give us gallons. We're looking for quarts. So they gave us gallons, and we're looking for quarts. Whoops. Looking for quarts. I put gallons down here, and I'm going to multiply. What do I know about quarts and gallons? Oh, lucky I just did this. 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 102 times 4 to get how many quarts. I got 408 quarts. Go ahead and try this next one on your own and then come back. Kayla measured 42 inches from the top of her dresser to the floor. How high is this in feet? So 42 inches. And I want to go to feet. And I know that there are how many inches in a foot? 1 foot equals 12 inches. Nice. All right, inches cancel. I get 42 over 12. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 42 divided by 12. Find out this is 3.5 feet tall, which makes sense for a dresser, right? Let's do this one together. The weights in ounces of 4 cakes at a bakery are shown. Express the weights in pounds. Okay, so let's look at this first one. We know, so I have 40 ounces, and I want to get to pounds. What do I know about pounds and ounces? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So we know I'm going to have to divide this by 16 to get the pounds. So use your calculator. 40 divided by 16, 2.5. Now it's going to be the same for all of these. So in your calculator, divide those by 16. The next one, you should have gotten 3.5. The next one, 4 and 25 hundredths. And the last one, 4 and 5 tenths. Nice. Once we figure out what we're doing, we can apply that to all of them in the table. Then we don't have to do the work every single time. We knew with that first one we were going to divide by 16, so why not just do the same thing for all of them? Peter has got 3 boxes of different widths. He wants to arrange them in ascending order to their widths. Now, ascending order means least to greatest, okay? And then they give us a hint. 1 foot equals 12 inches. So here we either have to convert all of these to feet or all of these to inches. So what do you think we should do? Let's convert them all to inches, okay? So do we know how much 5 feet is? Well, 5 feet, and I want to know how many inches, right? How many feet are in an inch? 1 foot is 12 inches. So 5 times 12 is 60. That equals 60 plus 5 more. So 65 inches. This one says 60 inches. Let's see on this one. I already know 5 feet. This is 60 plus 8, 68 inches. So if we were to arrange them from least, smallest, to biggest, 1, 2. So we would have box 2, box 1, box 3. So we would select this answer right here. All right. Try this one on your own. This one's similar to the cake one. All right, a building contractor wants to dig trenches to lay cables. The length of the trenches is given in feet. He needs the length of the cables in yards. Express the length in yards. Okay, so let's look at this first one. It gives me feet, 123 feet, and I want yards. What do I know about feet and yards? I know there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So how am I going to get this? I'm going to do 123 divided by 3 to give me my yards. So use my calculator. 41. Now I could do the same thing. Put 180 here, then put 210 here, or I divided this one by 3 to get that. So why not just do the same for all of them? Go ahead and pause and use your calculator. Should have 60 here, 70 here, and 90 here. All right, now we're going to switch gears. So that was all about customary units of measure, what we're used to measuring here in the United States. The next one, we're going to move on and talk about metric. And you're going to say, why do we use customary units after we get through this? Metric units of length. So this is how far how we measure things with length or distance. We use millimeters. They're super teeny tiny. And then centimeters, meters, kilometers. Those are the typical ones that we hear about, okay? So a millimeter is about the thickness of a dime. So if I laid that dime flat on my desk, how tall it is. So how tall it is. See how teeny tiny that would be? That would be a millimeter right there. A centimeter is about the width of your pinky. So if you held your pinky up and measured across your pinky, that's about a centimeter. A meter, similar to a yard, starting here at this foot, going to this foot, about a meter. Or you could go from your nose to your fingertip, stretch your arm all the way out, your nose to your middle fingertip. Then a kilometer is similar, not exactly the same, to a mile. So we would measure kilometers for driving cars. When we go to customary units of measure, instead of saying weight, we say mass. So the smallest unit of mass, or how heavy something is a milligram. And then we have a gram, and then a kilogram. So to help us remember that, a milligram weighs a feather is about a milligram. So super, 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 super light, like almost you can't even tell how heavy it is. A gram is a paper clip. And then a kilogram is about a baseball bat. Okay. Metric capacity, most of the time we're going to talk about milliliters and liters. Okay. A milliliter is about an eyedropper full, not even full. Like if you've ever taken medicine in an eyedropper, it's marked like that. A milliliter would be 1 mark, okay? And then a liter is like a large bottle of soda. So let's see, using what we just learned, we can go back and look at those pictures, but using what we learned, we're going to talk about or make some guesses. What do we think, using those benchmarks, these would represent? So if I wanted to measure the length of a driveway, would I use centimeters, meters, or kilometers? Remember, centimeters are like how wide your pinky is. Kilometers are for driving. So we would use meters. A tank of gas, liters. A mass, or how heavy a bowling ball is. Think about it. Kilograms may seem like a lot, but remember a bat we measure in kilograms, or is about a kilogram, so we would use kilograms. Try 4, 5, and 6. Number 4, we would measure the height of a kitten in centimeters. Fluid in a medicine dropper, milliliters. And the mass, or how heavy a pencil is, we would measure it in grams. I could also see an argument for milligrams, depending on if you have one of those teeny tiny, very bottom end of a pencil. But we would use grams most of the time. So let's talk about converting. You guys may have heard the story about King Henry. So it could be told like this. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Or some people say King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Or King Henry danced merrily down Center Main. Any of those might have been stories that your teachers told you to help you remember the metric system. So here's the thing. We just have to remember the kilo, hecto, deca, and our unit, meters, liters, and grams, deci, centi, and milli. And all we have to do is either move the decimal to the right or move the decimal to the left. So let's see. You may want to jot down this chart right here showing the steps. Okay, let's practice. 2 liters equals how many milliliters? Well, I'm going to draw mine like this. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. All right, liters are right here at my units. So here's my decimal. and I want to get to milliliters right here. So I'm going to put my 2 here, 2, move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places. Wherever I have an empty loop-de-loop, whoop, whoop, I put a 0. So 2 liters is 2,000 milliliters. Wow. All right, now I'm going to do my acronym again. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. I like that story the best. And I'm starting at grams, okay? Grams are right here at my unit, and I have 2,000, okay? Where's my decimal in 2,000? It's right here, right? And I want to go, and it would be right here. And I want to go to kilograms. 1, 2, 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2,000 grams equals 2 kilograms. See how easy this is? Basically, all it is moving the decimal, timesing by 10 or 100 or 1,000, or dividing by 10, 100, or 1,000. All right, King Henry, this is the story they tell at my school. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Oh no. So I have 4 centimeters. I'm starting right here, and my decimal's right here, and I want to go to millimeters, which is right here. So I move my decimal 1 place to be to the right of that label. So 4 centimeters is 40 millimeters. All right, King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. I like that one. 8 liters. So I put my 8 here. My decimal's right here, right? I'm going to milliliters. So to the right, whoop, whoop, whoop. Wherever I have an empty loop-de-loop, I put a 0. 8,000 milliliters. Okay, try this one on your own, these 2 problems. Okay, let's see. 6 centimeters. And I'm going to millimeters, so I would have 60. Okay, let's see how you did. 488 milliliters. Here's my decimal, and I want to go to centimeters. 1 place to the left, so 48.8. If you did good, I want you to give yourself a poetry snap. It goes like this. You go, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, great job. The record for flying the highest kite, or whatever, the record for the highest kite flight is 3.8 kilometers. Find the height of this record in meters. So remember, King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. And we have 3.8 here, right? And I'm starting here at kilometers. Here's my decimal. And I want to get to meters, which is my unit. 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I'm going to start here and go 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I would have 3,800 meters. Woo! Try this one on your own. All right, the African elephant eats 155,295 grams of food per day. How many kilograms of food is this? Okay, so here's my decimal in this number. Right here, I'm at grams, I'm at my unit, and I want to get to kilograms, which is clear over here. So, well, right here is where I'm going. 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I'm going to take this and go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So kilograms, 155.295 kilograms. Woo! We're almost there, guys. Stay with me. I told you this one was going to be a little bit long. Try this one on your own. Okay. In order to function properly, the human body needs about 2 liters of water per day. How many milliliters of water is this? Okay, so liters is our unit measure. Remember, U stands for liters, meters, and grams. Milliliters. 1, 2, 3 to the right. So we would have 2,000 milliliters. Try this one. All right, we have 480 millimeters, so we're right here. How many centimeters is this? So I have to go to the left one. So our answer would be 48 centimeters. 2 more. A group of friends are at an amusement park and want to ride the new roller coaster. A sign says that all riders must be 120 centimeters tall. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. That's going to help us. The table below shows each friend's height in meters. Well, we have to have them all in the same to compare, right? So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So we could replace this with 100 centimeters. And let's write how tall they are in centimeters. 100 plus 25, 125. 100 plus 9, 109. 100 plus 17, 117. 100 plus 20, 120. Select all the people who are tall enough to ride the roller coaster. So remember, you have to be at least 120. So is Juan tall enough? Yes. Is Erica tall enough? No. Is DeMarco tall enough? No. Is Justine tall enough? Barely, but yes. All right, last one. 4 different machines in Roger's tool shed require different quantities of oil. The amount of oil is expressed in liters in the table. Find the value in milliliters, or 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So we could times this by 1,000, or do you remember our story? King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. So here we are at liters, right? And I wanted to get to milliliters. 1, 2, 3 to the left, or to the right. 1, 2, 3. So I would have 70 here. 1, 2, 3. 320. 1, 2, 3. 450. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 1,200. All right. Don't forget to click submit up here on yours so that your teacher gets it, and then go and do the practice and the exit ticket. Best of luck. Great job staying with me. Have a great day.